It's LCQ day here at Daytona. 21 drivers with some big names in the field fighting for 4 spots on the grid. I'm Andy Graham and welcome to the LCQ for the first round of Season 3 of the NR2003 Twitter NASCAR Championship. 30 laps await the drivers today. Who is going to make the race? Let's have a look at the starting grid based on the results from third duels earlier in the day. On the front row, on pole, is Daniel Hemrick for Rick Ware Racing. Was running within the top 19 during his duel, but couldn't quite make it. Alongside him on the grid is Denny Hamlin for JTG Doherty Racing. Kevin Harvick for Richard Petty is third. They have really struggled for pace this weekend. And Timmy Hill for Junior Motorsport starts in 4th place. Hailie Deegan, 5th place in her Gaunt car. Alongside her in 6th is the Tide car Chase Briscoe. 7th, we've got the returning Matt Kenseth for the Vine Family Racing. And in 8th place, we've got James Hinchcliffe for Front Row Motorsport. 9th on the grid is Justin Haley for Premium Motorsport. He has a real point to prove after Austin Dillon finished his duel in 2nd place. And 10th on the grid is Landon Castle for Starcom. 11th, we've got Alex Newman for MBM. And 12th place, we've got John Hunter Nemechek. In 13th, we've got Nathan Merritt ahead of Ryan Preece. Johnson and Daly, 15th and 16th on the grid. 17th, we've got Cole Custer, who was involved in a pit lane incident with Daniel Suarez. In 18th, we've got Felix Rosenqvist, who ran into mechanical problems during his duel, while comfortably running within the lead group. In 19th, we've got Daniel Suarez, who got hit by Custer in his race. And in 20th, we've got Austin Cindric, who had an engine blow on him on the track. And finally, AJ Allmendinger is 21st and last on the grid. 30 laps await these drivers, and it's going to be a bit of a mad one. No pit stops, so you've got to stay within the pack. There's no second chances after this race. Pace car brings it around turn 4, and it looks like Chase Briscoe has peeled off down into the pit lane entry. So already problems for Richard Petty Motorsport. As the race goes green, it's one car down. Green flag's in the air as Hemrick takes the flag, but now all the pressure's on Harvick in this race. Time will tell what the problem is for Chase Briscoe and if he's going to be able to get back into the race. But unless there's a first lap caution, I can't see how he's going to make the race. Anyway, out of turn 2, Daniel Hemrick leads the race. He's ahead of Kevin Harvick. I imagine this front the bottom lane's going to be the one to be on at the moment, but already they're coming 3 wide as Hailie Deegan's down the inside of Harvick and Hamlin. And then Hinchcliffe's going to make it 3 wide with Timmy Hill and Justin Haley in the 15 car. So already this pack is big. Let's see if laying out the pits is Chase Briscoe. With no one to work with, he's just going to be falling into the clutches of the other 20 cars. So he needs a caution and quick, but the racing has been very clean so far. Anyway, back at the front of the field, it's the Rick Ware racing car of Daniel Hemrick, leading Deegan, leading Kenseth, and leading Justin Haley. Haley, I expect, will make this. The premium car has been fast this weekend and was unlucky not to make it through already from his duel. And we've seen Austin Dillon put that car 2nd place in his duel, so the potential's there. As Deegan has now taken the lead of this race with Haley, we've got Alex Newman and we've got Nathan Merritt there as 3 wide. So the Rick Ware car of Daniel Hemrick is at the top of the racetrack. John Hunter Nemechek's at the bottom with Johnson behind him, and there's Custer, who's desperately want to make the front of this field and just control the race. but he's got pressure from behind with Suarez and Cindric. So here we go. Nemechek's moved up into that vital transfer spot as Haley makes the move on Deegan. Merritt goes up top to support his teammate as Nemechek goes down low, looking to pick up a few positions and move away or move off the bubble. So here we go. Justin Haley takes the lead. But it looks like Nemechek wants to make that move. The Vine have really struggled. They've not had the horsepower this weekend. So it's important that they get up front within the pack. Jimmy Johnson, he's in the Coolidge car, which has a partnership with Wood Brothers. They've also really just not had an easy weekend, but he looks like he's going to get the run off the corner to make the move on Nemechek. We'll see. Nemechek's still in a good position, and he's going to get back down low into turn 3. He's nowhere near challenging Justin Haley. That premium has some good oomph down the straight. Custer, meanwhile, is into 4th. He's got Suarez and Cindric behind him, and he's now going to dive to the inside of Jimmy Johnson. And will he get Nemechek down this back straight? I imagine so. We've seen how good the Gibbs car is. We saw Chandler Smith in the second duel of the race finish as the winner, taking down the RCR car. Well, the RCR supported Williams' team with Riley Herbst around the wheel, who was looking fantastically quick. Meanwhile, it looks like Suarez is up top, Haley's up top, and he's going to lose the lead to Custer. Cindric's down there at the bottom, and he's going to move into second position. And also in the bottom lane, we've got AJ Allmendinger, who was one of the first to lose the draft in his duel. And he's doing mightily well, but he could be under pressure here from Felix Rosenqvist. He's looking to make it 3 wide. Rosenqvist was comfortably in a transfer spot. I thought he had a mechanical problem. He managed to get the car back running again, but this is looking a very messy mid-pack right now. We've got the Rick Ware car, we've got James Hinchcliffe, we've got Nemechek. So it looks like Rosenqvist has just about got through this. Got to be extremely careful here. 3 wide over the last transfer spot with Timmy Hill, AJ Allmendinger, and Justin Haley. And you've got Nemechek there, pushing Timmy Hill along. Hinchcliffe's in the mix. Landon Castle's there at the bottom. Hamlin's at the bottom. We've also got Connor Daly in that Spire car that's really struggled this weekend. We haven't mentioned how much they've just not had the pace here. Meanwhile, back into second place, we've got Rosenqvist all over Cindric. And Cindric's run up into the middle of the corner, which is going to leave the inside open for Rosenqvist. And Timmy Hill really wants to be there to pounce. He really needs, though, like Nemechek to make the move. But Nemechek, on the other hand, it looks like Hill's just bottomed out in terms of straight line speed. And it looks like Hill's going to lose out to John Hunter Nemechek here, with Hinchcliffe coming forwards as well. We've got Castle, Hamlin. It gives Custer a bit of breathing room. There's Connor Daly. You just want to be in the right place at the right time in this race, because it is going to be the difference between making the race and not. So, Rosenqvist moves into second. We know he's got good pace in that car. And I think it is a car that's able to pass the Gibbs and the Hendricks. We've just seen that in action with him against Cindric. So if you can take Custer out of the picture for a while, that'd be hugely important. Meanwhile, Hinchcliffe is going down low on Nemechek, and that's going to be 3rd place for him. And he's got Landon Castle looking to follow through as well. Castle was hugely impressive last season and got that Starcom car into positions probably shouldn't have been in. Scored a lot of points compared to the other sort of backmarker teams. So it'd be interesting to see what he can do this season, especially with a bigger field with more part-time entries. But it's competitive. It's very competitive at the moment. So Custer continues to lead here, with Rosenqvist in second, looking to get a run off the corner. Does he have the straight line speed to hold off James Hinchcliffe down this back straight? I think he does at the moment, because instead it's going to be Landon Castle's double O car with the help of Denny Hamlin, making the move. So Castle moves up into third place. We've got Hamlin in fourth in the last transfer spot, and then we've got Connor Daly in fifth. He just struggled for speed in the race in his duel, and he's going to now look down low to follow through Denny Hamlin, who makes the move to the inside of Landon Castle. What sort of speed does Hamlin have today? Does he have the speed to make that move on the straight on Rosenqvist? And the answer is yes, he's down the inside. But meanwhile, we've got to think that Chase Briscoe is being caught. He had mechanical issues earlier on in the race. Rosenqvist, meanwhile, has got some good speed around that outside line. Meanwhile, Deegan's passed Connor Daly, and Kevin Harvick's now going to be down the inside. As another update, we've got Landon Castle. He's dropped back a bit, but not too far. And we've got John Hunter Nemechek on the bottom as well. But meanwhile, it's all getting chaotic down here into one because they've caught up with Chase Briscoe. And Denny Hamlin for JTG has taken the lead. And Custom now might start seeing himself fall back down the pecking order. Rosenqvist was briefly held up, but he went back to the bottom of the racetrack. But right now he's looking a bit over the place. Meanwhile, we're going to see 3 wide with Custer, Haley, and Castle. And these guys are all fighting over that transfer spot. Rosenqvist looks like he'll take 4. And I think Rosenqvist has a car that can get to the lead. We've got John Hunter Nemechek there. He's the 5th car on the bottom lane at the moment, who's going to really want to be able to hold that line and continue to move up the field. Meanwhile, Landon Castle's to the inside of Haley Deegan. Pole position, and that 23 Coca-Cola car is going to drop down a bit. It's Nathan Merritt in the 96 Gaunt car. Be interesting to see as Rosenqvist is now diving down the inside of Landon Castle. Rosenqvist has got a good car, and he's got a good eye on these super speedways. He's been very fast this year. Meanwhile, Nemechek is being pushed along by this group. He really is lacking the straight line speed to really make anything happen. Currently in third, he's been keeping himself in good positions. That I just don't get the feeling that car's got the speed to hold off the cars behind. It looks like Nathan Merritt's going to attempt to move into 1. Is he going to get there? No, he's not going to get there in time. We've got the Rick Ware car that started on pole. Daniel Hemrick led a few laps. What's he going to be able to do in this little pack? But Hamlin and Rosenqvist, be interested to see what happens here. Rosenqvist is going to dive to the inside. Nemechek's going to cover slightly from Merritt. Is he going to hold position? Yes, he does. He's now going to get back in the lane and push Rosenqvist. But it puts him under pressure because it puts him in a position where he needs to sort of get past Rosenqvist, or just at least keep in his draft. Because I don't think he's got the speed in a straight line to defend for much longer against Nathan Merritt or Daniel Hemrick. So I think Hemrick might start thinking about having a look. But no, Merritt's going to the inside of Nemechek here. Into turn 1. And there's Ryan Preece at the bottom here, who wants to get a piece of this. Ryan Preece was very impressive in his first season, but never got re-signed to a team for the second season. He's back with MBM this season, and yeah, trying to repay the faith they've had in him. Meanwhile, Nathan Merritt is making a move on the lead on Felix Rosenqvist. Now that's a bit of a surprise. I didn't think the Gaunt cars quite had the speed in a straight line to be able to make that sort of move. Meanwhile, we've got second place being the Rick Ware of Daniel Hemrick. MBM in third. Then we've got another Levine, technically 4th in line at the bottom of this racetrack. He's about to make it 3 wide. But Chase Briscoe and Felix Rosenqvist, that's a disaster for Rosenqvist. But yeah, that's Matt Kenseth. We've got Timmy Hill pushing along Daniel Suarez. We've got Austin Cindric pushing along Jimmy Johnson. And meanwhile, Ryan Preece is about to make a move on Daniel Hemrick for position. Does Ryan Preece have the speed in his MBM Toyota to get past the Gaunt of Nathan Merritt? And what sort of speed does Kenseth have? Well, we're about to find out. Kenseth dives down low to the inside of Ryan Preece. and takes second position. Now, can Kenseth get past the Gaunt car before Suarez picks him off? Yes, he is. He's to the inside already. That's a fantastic run of turn 4 to make sure he gets past Priest and Merritt. So Matt Kenseth takes the lead. I think it'll be a short-term lead because here comes Daniel Suarez, who's got Timmy Hill's junior motorsport car pushing him along. And meanwhile, it's going to become 3 wide because Austin Cindric's looking at Johnson, but he can't quite make that work. We've got Harvick, we've got Custer in the background there, about 7th and 8th in line at the moment. I'll just make sure of that. Yep, 7th and 8th in the bottom lane. It's going to be a question of who can time this to perfection. Just to make sure, this is the whole group. No one's dropped back so far as Jimmy Johnson's about to lose position to Cindric. But Johnson's had a bit of a gap there, so he's actually jumped back into 4th place ahead of Hinchcliffe. Now Hinchcliffe is going to have to make the move down straight. Timmy Hill's going to lose out to Cindric. I think Custer is going to pass Harvick. I think Daly's going to get caught up high as well, so I think he's going to lose out some positions. Be interesting to see, can Timmy Hill get back in line in front of Hinchcliffe? He's just about going to do that, and that could be an important move later on in the race. Meanwhile, Cindric's going for the lead now on Daniel Suarez. Suarez hasn't played a massive role in this race yet. He's been quite quiet, which is not a bad thing. Meanwhile, Timmy Hill is going for second now on him. He really wants to get this junior motorsport car into the race tomorrow. Custer is in 3rd, who I reckon is going to make light work of Timmy Hill. And it's Justin Haley as well. So, Cindric leads. I think the Gibbs car of Custer is going to have the speed. It's going to be a question of timing. Who's going to time this run to the line best? So meanwhile, Castle looks like he's moving back into a transfer position as Custer is going to put a move on Cindric for position. Landon Castle needs to be careful that he doesn't offer Haley Deegan a late pass. Deegan's shown herself to be very good at these super speedways in the past. So here we go. This is going to be an interesting battle. Can Justin Haley make the move on Cole Custer down this back straight? He can't, and Castle can't quite make the move on him. So will we see a bit more cooperation from these three? And what's Deegan going to do? Does the Gaunt have the pace to hold off the JTG Dodge? And you've also got Ryan Preece in the background. He's now 6th on the bottom. He's looking remarkably good. Can he make that move on Cindric into turn 1? Is he going to get the support from Rosenqvist, who's also going to want to make this race? It's a fascinating race that's playing out in front of us at Daytona. And we're heading towards 10 to go. Down the back straight again. Is anyone going to dive out for a move, or are we seeing cooperation here as it looks like we're going to get 3 wide? As Deegan's going to make a late move on Castle. And you know what? Brilliant news for Cindric. He's managed to keep it at the bottom in a decent position. So he's going to come 5th and charge through and make some positions up. Timmy Hill and Daniel Suarez, they're still in the mix. Castle has dropped back in front of Rosenqvist, but he's lost a lot of momentum here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a move from Rosenqvist into 1. As meanwhile, we're seeing more moves. Deegan making a move on Justin Haley, and we're seeing Cindric make the move on Denny Hamlin. These guys need to guys in the slower cars need to bunch up and try and stop these faster cars from being able to just dictate the race. They need to push them towards the back in these winding laps. But the field's just starting to spread out that little bit. Looks like Newman is struggling for speed. We've got Daly in 20th. Harvick is just having no luck. Tyler Petty got a bit of a lucky break in his duel when he avoided most of the issues of the mechanical problems. And even then, he was slowing up. He just couldn't stick with the pack. So Richard Petty have got some big issues on these sort of circuits, but it seems like these guys are breaking away completely. John Anthony Nemechek, Jimmy Johnson, Merritt, Hemrick, they need to get sort of closer towards these guys, and the leading drivers need that. Meanwhile, Custer has lost the lead. It's going to be 3-1 in the background between Timmy Hill, Suarez, and Custer. Ryan Preece there looking to pick up the pieces, but that's bad news for Custer. It gives him an opportunity to potentially time this a bit better for the end, but that's not what he would have wanted to see. Meanwhile, Rosenfist is going to get passed by Suarez on the inside. There is an opportunity for him to come back. Meanwhile, it's 3 wide in the background with Allmendinger, Preece, and Deegan. Kenseth giving a push. Timmy Hill, meanwhile, is going to make them. Well, Custer's back in the slipstream with Timmy Hill, despite being up 3 wide. So it looks like these 6 are the main contenders at the moment. But the rest of this field needs to start bunching up and taking advantage of when the faster cars are forced up high. Meanwhile, Rosenfist has oddly chosen to follow Hamlin at the track using a 3 wide situation. Timmy Hill tries to dart down in front of AJ Allmendinger for position. Meanwhile, it's Suarez who's looking to make a move on Cindric. Now, are these cars behind close enough to fully capitalise on this? It looks like the Levine cars are causing problems. Custer's up top, meanwhile. Timmy Hill is going to put that car down the inside. And he looks like he's got an incredible run on the exit here. That he's going to even challenge Suarez. And this is the sort of opportunity people need. The Levine cars here need to pounce and start pushing Custer backwards and Rosenfist. And I think that's what could happen, but Landon Castle and Hinchcliffe are a bit up high at the moment. They need to fill in the gaps, which they do. Preece, I think, could fill in the gap here behind Hamlin, but he's committing to that slipstream at the moment. But meanwhile, we're side by side. The Levine cars are desperately trying to clear Custer and Rosenfist. But right now, this is disastrous for Custer and Rosenfist if they can't get back low and fighting these guys for a transfer spot. Custer might get an opportunity here, but Kenseth's nose is in it, as meanwhile Cindric's up top. Timmy Hill is going to push Suarez through. But Custer's still not in a position where he can get back low. So he's going to have to continue up high. And it's the same for Felix Rosenfist, who might get an opportunity here. And meanwhile, it's going to go 3 wide with Kenseth, Hinchcliffe. Yeah, in the outside lane, we've got Cindric and Custer. And that's going to put pressure on them with 5 to go. They are desperately needing to get down low. Hinchcliffe is going to make a move on Allmendinger for position. Rosenfist is in a good position at the moment. But Kenseth is really paying interference for Hendrick and for Joe Gibbs at the moment. Because they can't get low, and Kenseth kind of stuck on the outside. But he's not fast enough to make that inside move work. Landon Castle's up to 4th place. He needs something to happen in front of him. Otherwise, he's going to lose out to Rosenfist, who's got a fast car today. Justin Haley's in the mix. 4 to go. I feel like Cindric and Custer are under pressure. They're going to drop to the back. They're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Can Timmy Hill make a move on Daniel Suarez for position? Here comes Rosenfist. Here comes Hinchcliffe and Haley. Now, this will be fascinating to see what happens in these last few laps. I think Castle or Timmy Hill could get in a position to drop back down low. They've got a gap to Ryan Preece and Allmendinger, who are holding up the pack a bit. Chase Briscoe's a lap car. Be really interesting to see what happens into turn 1. Cindric and Custer are still up high. Meanwhile, Hinchcliffe's gone up high, so it's Suarez, Rosenfist, Haley and Merritt. We've got a star comment that's in contention. Nemechek in the 93 car, I think is going to be a bit of a one to watch in these last few laps. Haley's going to make the one. Haley's making a move on Rosenfist. That could be important. Merritt's desperately trying to get back down low to cover off Castle, and he does it. That is crucial. 2 to go. I think we're going to get some big names that don't make the 500. The back of the field at the moment, Hamlin is nowhere. Custer and Cindric are still up top on the outside. Here we go. Suarez, Haley, Merritt, Castle, Priest. Nemechek in 5th place. He's just got a pesky lapped car in front of him. And he does lack the straight line speed. Nathan Merritt is the one making the move. And meanwhile, Ryan Priest is making a move on Landon Castle. That could be huge. NBM could surprise a lot of people and make the first race of the season. Nemechek, meanwhile, needs to just get up close to Briscoe. 1 to go. Jimmy Johnson's not in a bad position at the moment. Potentially. Kevin Harvick, he's been pretty nowhere today. I think Justin Haley is going to drop out the race. Ryan Priest, he's under a lot of pressure at the moment. Will Chase Briscoe play interference and cause for an overtake? I don't think he is. He's going for the move on Ryan Priest. And Harvick is 4th in the bottom lane. Can he get a run to the line? But Priest is going to dive it back down low on Nemechek. What's Justin Haley going to do? Daniel Suarez is going to win ahead of Nathan Merritt. And then Priest and Nemechek make the 500. Kevin Harvick, Felix Rosenqvist, Austin Cindric, and Cole Custer and Denny Hamlin have all failed to make the race. This was always going to be a 30-lap sprint where, you had to be in the right place at the right time. And the Levine family racing cars it was Allmendinger and Kenseth that were up top, well, on the bottom, forcing Custer and Cindric up top. And Cindric and Custer couldn't get the speed on the outside to clear them to get back down low. Wow, what a finish. Daniel Suarez wins the last chance qualifier. As soon as the likes of Rosenqvist, Cindric and Custer dropped down the order, there was no doubt he had the speed advantage. Nathan Merritt for Gaunt in 2nd, Ryan Priest for NBM in 3rd, John Hunter Nemechek for the Vine Family Race in 4th. Justin Haley misses out on his teammate start the Daytona 500 in 4th. Harvick misses out. Johnson misses out. Alex Newman for NBM misses out, but there's a strong showing for him in lesser equipment. Rosenqvist, the Daytona night winner from last season, is not going to be racing the 500. Daly's out, Castle's out, Cindric's out, Hinchcliffe's out, Timmy Hill is out, Allmendinger's out, Hamlin's out, Hemrick's out, Deegan's out, Custer, 19th. Teammate Chandler Smith is starting tomorrow's race 3rd on the grid, and Custer is 19th in the LCQ. And Kenseth was the last on the lead lap, with Briscoe in 21st place. What a dramatic day of racing. It's been Andy Graham, who's a bit lost for words. Those were results I wasn't quite expecting. But now Suarez will start the 539th place tomorrow. Merritt in 40th, Priest in 43rd, Nemechek in 42nd, and I'll see you tomorrow for the big one, the 500.